But first, radio star Laura Ingraham goes on the record about her new book, The Obama Diaries. And as a side note, the new book is the #1 nonfiction book at Amazon.com, and the Kindle version is #2. Good evening, Laura.
Hey, Greta, great to see you. I can't believe you scored the big interview with Janet Napolitano. I can't believe it.
Well, it's fun. We want to come down to the border and see what's going on here. But then we get down here and I get the big news about your book doing so well in numbers. So, of course, I have my own copy. And the first thing I did
you're in the book.
Well,
they obsess about you, Greta, in the book. Clearly, the diaries, they're all about Fox.
I was going to say, as I did the Washington read, I went immediately to the index to see if I was in it. And page 321, and the thing is I thought, are you going to, take the skin off my body, or will I be saved in this? And I come across okay. It was very mild, very simple note about me.
Yeah, they're not too threatened by you, Greta. But Greta, can I tell you one thing about this oil spill in the Gulf? I'm so glad that you just brought us that breaking news about the cap finally being placed, and it looks like it might hold at least for a time. If the administration and BP hadn't been able to cap that spill, they had one final option, and the only option that was left, they were actually planning to lower Janet Napolitano in a diving bell a mile down, and she was going to have to actually plug the hole herself, okay? So if this is great that this cap actually worked. Did that ruin your interview with her?
No, you had me for a second. I actually thought you were serious. I was sitting there thinking, listening to
diving bell.
I thought, I brought you on to talk about your new book, and I thought, oh, well, she wants to deviate to talk about something serious. So you brought me that whole long recitation, and then we get to the end. Okay. All right. Anyway, the Obama Diaries. Tell me how you did this. I mean, what's with this idea of how you wrote this book? This is different.
Well, let me just say, people keep saying, Laura, is this fiction? Are you doing some Jonathan Swift satire? Let me just tell you this, Greta. I didn't ask for these diaries. I just wanted a pedicure, okay, a manicure. Go to the Watergate salon. I know you've gone there. You go there every other week. I was going down the Watergate
garage. Yeah, that's why I look the way I do, right?
After my I've seen you there. After my pedicure, I go down to my SUV, and there's this manila envelope on the hood of my SUV. I'm like, wait a second, is this some kind of practical joke? I look around me, dark parking garage. The manila envelope says property of the American people on it. I take it very carefully, gingerly, open it up, start looking through it. Greta, I kid you not, my whole body's shaking at this point. There are diaries, it looks like, from everyone from Barack Obama to Michelle Obama, Joe Biden, Nancy Pelosi, Hillary Clinton, and your favorite, Peter Orszag, Vladimir Putin. I mean, there's a treasure trove here.
The list goes on, though, about people get mentioned in this book. Governor Sarah Palin, Winston Churchill, Glenn Beck, Tipper Gore,
Glenn
Matt
Beck
Lauer.
has a big... Yeah, Glenn Beck, they are obsessed with Beck, Hannity, you, O'Reilly, Rush Limbaugh. I mean, you are all sort of, you're at the heart of the demonizing the enemy chapter. And even if you're not really the enemy, because you ask tough questions and fair questions, you're basically persona non grata in the Obama administration. So, look, I didn't ask for these diaries. They're not, I don't feel like they're my property. They're the property of, the on-the-record viewers, the Fox viewers, the American people. So they're going to have to decide for themselves. And I can tell you this, Greta. I've asked Major Garrett and others to directly try to confirm the authenticity of these diaries. So far, I can't get any confirmation. And, Greta, you'll love this, because I log on to GretaWire pretty much every night, and I always rib you about stuff I read there. Valerie Jarrett, on my website tonight, I actually asked Valerie Jarrett in person about these diaries. You're going to have to go on lauraingraham.com to see what she said. It's disturbing.
All right, the picture. Okay, I don't know if the viewers can see this, the cover. The cover, whose idea was this? It's a pretty interesting cover.
The cover was a joint project, but Simon & Schuster Threshold Publishers actually built that set, and it looks like the Oval Office to me. Or, wait a second, that is the Oval Office. Can you believe those cigarette butts on the cover, Greta? That is a rude depiction of our president's struggle against nicotine. Horrible.
I actually just looked a little closer at the cover, closer than I did. The cover's a little rough. I mean, if you look really close, the cover's a little rough.
Well, I mean, there's a Reverend Wright. There's photos behind the president at the Oval Office desk. There's Reverend Wright. There's Hugo Chavez. Reggie Love, the body man. Reggie's hilarious. He's always with the president. And there's a picture of him wearing the mom jeans, which I knew you loved, Greta, because you're a baseball fan. The mom jeans photo. So.
All right. So fiction or nonfiction? I mean, how do we describe this?
Greta, people harp on labels. I'm not about labels today. I'm about getting at the truth. And I am telling the American people right now, you're watching this all across the country. You love Greta, as we all do. These diaries have more truth in them when matched up with the historical narrative of what's happened to our economy, our culture, our foreign policy, our national security. You match up the facts with these diaries, you'll get more truth than you will from any basic Robert Gibbs press conference or any video blog coming out of the White House press office, okay? That's all I'm going to say. People can decide for themselves. I'm just the vessel to distribute these diaries. That's all I am. This is not a book. This is a movement, Greta.
All right, so off the big news of the book for a second, and let's rotate into something else. Your prediction tonight, because I'm curious, who do you think is going to be the Republican nominee for president?
Well,
not who do you want, not who do you want, but who do you think will be?
Greta, I don't know. I hate saying I don't know because that sounds so lame, but I have to be honest. I don't know. I can tell you this. I just left a big book signing at the W Hotel in Boston, and guess who showed up? Wearing jeans and looking really Fonzarelli, really cool. Guess who?
I give up.
Boston. Mitt Romney.
Mitt Romney?
Mitt Romney showed up. Yeah, he showed up at my book signing, and he had his hair messed up. It was like a different type of Mitt. It was. Are
you lying?
So,
did he really show up?
No, I'm not. I'm not. He just introduced me at my book signing, and he had his hair all messed up, and he was wearing jeans, and I hardly even recognized him without the suit and the perfectly coiffed hair. So, is that a sign he's running? Americans, I don't know. You'll have to help me on that. I don't know.
I have no idea if you're teasing me or not.
No, he actually. Greta, he was at my book signing. Why don't you think he would come at my book signing? You're my friend for how many years? He was at my book signing, and he looked like he was like a Fonzie. I didn't look like a presidential candidate, which is probably good these days. All right, well, is going to be running. Mitt Romney's going to be running. Huckabee, I don't know. I mean, the Little Rockers, will they accompany him on the campaign trail? I hope so, because I love them. I'm just hoping they're all in there. It's going to be a lot of fun.
All right, well, the book is the Obama Diaries. It's selling like hotcakes, and you can get it on Amazon. You can get it at a bookstore. And good luck, have fun, and hurry back to Washington, as I will, too. Thank you, Laura.
Greta, I'm glad you gave my best to Janet Napolitano. We love you here in Boston.